Hey folks, welcome back to Other M. We are here in Sector 2, the Cryosphere. It's the ice area. And we just saw some evidence of Metroid activity here in this bottle ship. In a Metroid game, of all places, which is absolutely mind-blowing. But, you know, it's an indicator, hey, there's a conspiracy here. Of course, if you were playing a space adventure and went to a government research facility and didn't expect a conspiracy, I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, after seeing that dead Wollywog thing, let's deal with an alive one. Now, it might have been more effective to save the Wollywog things until now. Or maybe... Okay, I'm going to propose a couple ideas. Either have one as like a giant corpse, and you're like, holy shit, that looks like an intimidating thing, good thing that Metroid took care of it. Then bam, here's a real live one you have to take care of. And just, like, not have them until this point. Or, reverse it, have a huge one that you have to deal with, and it's like a significant mini-boss. And then just have a dead one that a Metroid took care of, and you're like, oh shit, Metroids are powerful beings. But here, because, you know, they're not, like, significant threats or anything, and we've seen them before, it's more like, oh, there are Metroids here in this Metroid game. How amazing. Anyways, you can see that door is locked, or like, temporarily disabled. I'm not sure what the difference between the orange doors and the red doors are. Other than we can actually do something about the orange doors. Anyway, look, there's a bug nest behind that fan there. And it was mentioned before that bugs like to create nests in warm areas with a lot of heat. That's why they were kind of in the computer machinery stuff before. Here they're in the cryosphere by a fan. Kind of the exact opposite. I realize maybe there's some friction going on with the fan, and then you are behind it, but I don't think that is consistent character motivation for the bugs. How about that? Anyway, if you take care of that bug nest, you can hop in here, and if you were not playing hard mode, there would probably be an upgrade there. But that is not what we are doing right now. We are currently looking for a terminal to open up that door. And as you can see, there is an electric rail. And I'm not sure if you're supposed to get on the rail at the very beginning of the room, and then there are enemies like harassing you, and it's an intense sequence. I think I proposed a similar idea back when they were first introduced in the Biosphere. They are... I don't know, my priority when coming into the room is to kill all enemies, destroy all monsters. So I don't really ever get on the rail until everything is clear and safe. Anyway, that thing I blew up, that would be an upgrade again. But not actually something you grab now. You need to backtrack a little bit after getting an item that we'll get in just a few minutes. Anyway, doors open. Up, down. Samus is incapable of walking off ledges. Man, this is a big ice room. I like the aesthetic of this room. I don't understand it. As you can see, it is very icy. But you have like that purple water, and then that ladder over there is like has pink rungs, and it's like it's a cool way of using kind of rainbow and almost warm tones in what is a cold area. It creates a certain distinctive atmosphere. I'm not sure if it's effective atmosphere, but it's definitely very neat. Especially all the light playing on the ice there. So yes, I do actually like the look of this room. The gameplay of the room is pretty boring. I mean, you got that big chunk of ice was basically the most interesting part of it, so yeah. Anyway, water tank time. You remember how we still don't have the gravity suit? Yeah, we still don't have the gravity suit. So, dealing with these skullfish or whatever fuck, I don't even know. Again, is a matter of using the sense move properly, and it's not exactly thrilling, and it's made especially annoying because the fish, other than their glowing red eyes, really do blend in with the background, and the motion of the red eyes is not exactly the most, like, attention-grabbing thing. I understand the aesthetic idea of having red contrast against the blue and black, but I just find them annoying to track. Anyway, because we don't have the gravity suit, we cannot jump onto those ledges and use them as stairs to get to the other side of this room. So we are going to need to cause some property damage in order to drain the water. Now, just remind you that much of the reason that many of Samus's items are not authorized is so that she won't accidentally cause property damage. But I guess Adam is okay with this. Never mind that the fucking gravity suit is not going to cause property damage. Okay, whatever. Sorry. Anyway, this is really cool. Underwater with the purple and the pink rungs, and it's cool, and it looks really cool, and it's neat, and I like it. I just wish I had the goddamn gravity suit. I'm not gonna stop about this gravity suit business, alright? I'm not gonna stop until we get the fucking gravity suit, and even then I'll probably complain about it somehow. But yeah, it's a neat way of reusing the same geometry of the room, of altering the terrain and having inter-room connections. There's nothing, like, difficult about it, and you don't have any choice, and it's really not a puzzle because it's so clear. But it's still a neat interconnection, and I just give no shits about you two, actually. Goodbye. Anyway, it's time for your favorite design element, long linear corridors. But this time there is actually a reason for having them. Because, as you can see, there is a giant wall of ice there. The speed booster.
The most efficient way through here should be delivering shoulder impacts with your speed booster, so I'm authorizing its use.
Okay, I'm gonna... Wait, no, first. Speed booster was introduced in Super Metroid as a way of moving quicker after building up a little bit momentum, and it also gave access to the special move, the Shine Spark, which allowed you to go long horizontal or vertical distances. Now I'm gonna complain. Adam, having a speed booster would allow us to move quicker. It would increase efficiency of literally any action. Because it is a speed booster. That is its definition. It allows us to do things quicker. That is efficiency. But okay, alright, okay. Now that we have the speed booster, we can, A, break through certain speed boostable things, which may consist entirely of those walls that we just broke. I'm not entirely sure, I don't recall. But also Shine Spark. Shine Spark being a very nifty move that you will see in just a few minutes. Anyway, this jerk is awake now, and I hate him. I'm not exactly sure how you're supposed to deal with him, because if you try to run around, he will grab you, throw you around, and put you in the water. And that is a two-hit kill, I believe, on hard mode. And unfortunately, when you target him, his eye isn't the weak point, so I don't actually know what to do about him. My solution was to sense move dodge everything that he did. Not even what he did, what these dudes were doing. And by sheer luck, I managed to sense dodge his moves as well. I'm not actually sure what to do about that guy, and I'm sure somebody in the comments knows, so please enlighten me. Anyway, here we have a somewhat interesting long linear corridor, because this is our first opportunity to use the Shine Spark. Shine Spark, you build up momentum with the speed booster, and then, at a certain point, you jump. And that allows you to traverse either great horizontal or vertical distances while maintaining speed booster destruction capabilities, and also just being like a super long jump. Now, it is a little different in this game than the 2D Metroids. It's kind of hard to implement in a 3D environment, admittedly. In most 2D Metroids, it keeps going until you hit a wall, whereas here it's just a long jump. Not nearly as cool, but I admit that it would be very difficult to implement just going constantly forward in a 3D environment. Anyway, time for some rotating drums. And it does take me a little while to figure out what I'm doing here, because I wasn't paying very close attention, to be honest. I'm kind of an idiot. But the idea is there are these rotating drums that you ride around. There's this prick, and then below him is a platform that can't currently be jumped on, but by activating it with our charge beam, we can activate it and then use it. And that takes me a little bit to see, because I wasn't really paying attention. Alright, now I see it. And this is another thing I take issue with here. You remember that charge beam things can only be activated when you're in a certain proximity. So it's basically the game's way of forcing you to do it while on the rotating drum, rather than from far away and then jumping on the drum and saving yourself a little bit of time. It's supposed to be more stylish. I get the idea. Is my overall opinion on the matter. Also, waiting around on the drum is kind of boring. Just, if they moved a little more quickly, I'd be okay with it. But I'm really nitpicking. Completely nitpicking, okay? It's not a terrible puzzle. It's not hard by any stretch of the imagination. But it's not terrible, and I do like rotating things. Rotating things are cool things. Alright, just run by him. I don't know if he's ever caused any issues for anybody. Don't dawdle, you should be fine. Now, one thing I do take issue with, it's kind of hard to figure out when Samus is directly in line with the wall jump panel. It's just the way the animation works and the camera angle works. But it's a minor issue. Very minor issue. And look at these things. There are things, just lumps in the hallways that cause Samus to need to kind of vault over them and lose her momentum. And that's something you may have seen as part of the design earlier, and I may have pointed it out, I don't remember. But it's basically a way for the game to stop you from using the speed booster when it doesn't want you to, which is basically any time it's not a speed booster puzzle. It's just another example of the game getting in your way on purpose. Just dumb. Bad design. Anyway, let's deal with this fucking stupid head again. I don't like this guy. I don't like any of them. I don't like the species. It's not interesting combat. And of course I have to chase him down here because I accidentally knocked him off. Like, I complained in earlier episodes. These guys are not fun. I don't know if I came up with a coherent reason as to why they're not fun, but they're just not fun. They're boring. And after taking care of that guy, looky there, guess what? Another one. And I just have to question the logic. We've dealt with these guys before. We've dealt with two simultaneously before. I'm not sure why they're having one after the other now, because that's easier. And there's nothing really interesting about this environment, this battle arena, because, I mean, sure, the ledge was a thing that slowed me down and made me have to do this wall jumping business and then leave the room and get up some momentum and then use a shine spark. It's not an interesting arena. There's no, like, I don't know, deep water that you'd have to avoid. Maybe fight them on small platforms, or maybe the I don't know, the floor is lava, or there are electric fences or something. But no, nothing interesting. And of course you have to fight them, because the door is locked until they are completely dead. Because Adam says so. Adam wants us to destroy all life. Wasn't there something about Adam really not liking bio-experiments and preserving the sanctity of animal life was one of his top priorities? Not entirely sure why he's forcing us to kill things. Anyway, more lumps on the ground, so we can't speed boost. I'm not going to point out every instance where that happens, but it happens a lot. And I want you to keep your eyes out. It happens, man. You'll see it. It's there. It's everywhere. Anyway, a couple more linear rooms. Isn't that wonderful, everybody? Anyway, after that frustration with the electrical pirate dudes, guess who it is? It's the king of long and tedious fights here to reclaim his title. Yeah, you know, because the two fights against the electrical dudes, he was like, man, those sure were tedious. Let's remind them that there's shit even more tedious in this game. It's like, come on, guys. It's a neat idea to bring enemies from one sector into another sector when you're not expecting it. And you have to kind of remember, oh shit, how do I deal with this guy? But these guys were really, really easy to figure out the first time, and they were tedious, and they suck. Nobody likes them. Not even their parents. Just... God, I don't like these guys. They're boring. And after all these fights with them, we still don't have a better way of dealing with them. Our beam... Okay, we have an ice beam now, right? But we're shooting with the missiles. That's how you fight them. You shoot them with missiles. So we don't actually have a quicker way of dealing with them, so we don't feel any more powerful. There's no noticeable change. It's just more tedium. Just, and of course, yes, we were forced to fight them because the way things are designed, there were ledges that keep us from speed boosting, thus we couldn't shine spark up to that ledge. Wonderful design. Anyway, cutscene.
Maurice.
Alright, chase the mysterious woman. Now there's actually almost something of a tension here, because you're like, is this woman involved with Maurice's death? This could be a murder mystery, and I might actually care if I gave a shit about Maurice, but I don't, but whatever. Yeah, along linear corridors, etc. Thing in the way to keep you from speed boosting, etc. The issue is that we just don't care about Maurice. Oh, by the way, really poorly hidden loading point right here. There was a door right there. You could have just loaded the whole room. I wouldn't mind. Come on, guys. Come on.
Don't come near me! I know why you're here!
No, you don't understand. I'm here to rescue you.
You're lying! I know the Galactic Federation wants to silence everyone who knows about our work here.
So there is a conspiracy, just in case you weren't sure. Just in case the presence of Metroids didn't make you think there was a conspiracy. There's a conspiracy.
How can I trust you when your troops are willing to kill each other? Stay away from me.
Listen to me. We're here to rescue you.
Alright, boss time. Now before I complain about the narrative again, let me say that I really do like this boss. It's the first boss where you really have to be clever about how you're sense moving. Because many of his attacks, you can sense move out of the way, and you'll walk right into the attack. Like the lasers, if you dodge the wrong way, it'll just laser you some more. And sometimes it'll like back into you, and if you dodge the wrong way or don't dodge enough, he will just run into you. So you really do have to actually start using your brain about how you're using the sense move. It's definitely interesting and fun, and plus his weak point moves as the fight progresses. So I think it's really cool. I think it's fun. Now from a narrative standpoint, allow me to complain, which I'm sure you'll allow because seriously it's just a game. But they almost had a really cool thing. They almost had the cool thing of, can we trust this blonde lady who says to have seen our comrade kill another comrade? Because all we see is this lady and a corpse. And yeah, she claims it was actually this third guy. I'm like, why should I believe you, this random lady I've never met, who was involved in a government conspiracy, that my comrades are trying to kill each other? And of course, they instantly nullify that mystery by having this dude show up. You know, he's a guy in a Federation outfit, and it's like, okay, either there's a guy who snuck on board in a Federation outfit, or one of our dudes is trying to kill each other. But either way, she's telling the truth, that we know that what she saw was real. So, mystery gone.
The woman believed that the Galactic Federation was sent to the bottle ship to keep those in the know from leaking information about the project. And no wonder. She'd been attacked by someone wearing a Galactic Federation power suit, and she implied that Maurice was killed by another soldier. Considering the mortal danger we'd survived together, I had to agree with her. There was a traitor among us.
Samus, the wavelength of that monster's cry is driving the other creatures into a frenzy. They've grown markedly more aggressive. It appears to be hiding in Sector 3 now. Take the elevator ahead of you to the main sector. From there, head to Sector 3. If you run into that thing, hit it with your plasma beam. You've got to take it down.